Liam, the first question I said to Bradley was, what's the spirit like in the camp? And I guess the stock answer will always be, well, everything's okay, but it's difficult times for everyone at the moment. How are things?
Yeah, I think, being totally honest, of course you've got some disappointed people, some frustrated people, some potentially low on confidence. I think you see elements of that, but I think that's the challenge. I think you have to stick together. I've said it for numerous weeks now. We have to stick together. We have to work hard. I think we have to be brave. We have to step up. I think that's the biggest thing that we've spoken to players around is, to a certain extent when you're 2-0 down, it's easier to be brave when you're 2-0 down and you're kind of in that position. The challenge for us as a group now is stick together, and when it's on that knife's edge at 0-0, we have to be brave in them moments and step up and deliver, in them times, which is, the big challenge going into the game tomorrow.
Presumably, you're wanting the team to do well, but you're wanting, more importantly, individuals to take the game by the scruff of the neck, individuals to kind of stand up and be counted as well.
Yeah, of course. I think especially the guys I work with, we started out coaching to try and help people, and obviously a real passion for the game. And I think that that doesn't change just because you lose some games. I think we want to, of course, we want to win games and we want to perform. And I think the way we do that is by improving people and improving the team. So I think that the work continues in terms of of course we have to really push people, but at the same point, I think when the game starts tomorrow, it's the challenge is we've done all the work we can to provide real clarity in the plan. Provide as much information as we can on what we expect to face, because again, you don't know. But then really challenge the players to be brave and step up and kind of take responsibility in the game. That's the biggest bit, because I think like I keep coming back to, it's about being brave in them tough moments, the grey areas of the game, which at the minute we haven't done well enough.
Just spoken to Bradley Johnson and couldn't sing your praises and the coaching staff highly enough. Having somebody like him and just hearing him talk during the interview, clearly a voice in the dressing room that's going to be very, very useful for you.
Yeah, I mean, as a person, he's terrific, and then I think after that he's had a terrific playing career. That's had a huge number of different experiences, which are really important for the group to be able to lean on. And you've got a few real strong seniors now that that we need to step up and pull the group together. And when the game starts tomorrow night, make sure that they keep everybody together. So he's been terrific. He's obviously, I thought he had a real positive impact when he came on at the weekend. I thought he showed a real purpose in his actions. And I thought he did well at the weekend. So he's in a good spot. We need him to keep driving the group, like I said, with the other senior guys.
Last thing I want to do is put any extra pressure on this game, but it's a huge game for the club because it's a home match. It's against a side who are, in the bottom part of the table as well, that are struggling also, and it's an opportunity to turn things around. A little bit of pressure on this game.
Yeah, a little bit. Of course there is. I think there's pressure going into every game. I wouldn't say it's the be all and end all though. I think that's quite important. I think as well, of course, the win would be massive for everybody. But at the same point, I think whatever the outcome of the game, I don't think it's not going to change everything overnight in terms of we're completely down and out or we're completely out of the other end in terms of the positive aspects. So I think it's a case of controlling what we can. We have to go into the game, stick together, make sure that we're clear on the game plan, make sure that we have the discipline and the bravery to go and deliver it, and then the outcome will be there. I think that's probably the most important thing for the game tomorrow.
Thanks, Liam.
Well, Warren O'Hora said there were some home truths read out to the team in the dressing room after the game. How important is it to have those grievances aired out in the dressing room after games such as Saturday?
Yeah, really important. We've had it a couple of times now. Saturday wasn't the first time that we've had it, and again, I have to say the players drove it more than anybody. I think initially in the changing room, but it comes back to my point afterwards. We can do all the talking, we can do all the work off the pitch, we can create all the plans, we can give all the information. It's when the whistle starts and the game starts. We know we need some people to be brave and step up and go and grab the game, and that's everybody. I think that's probably the biggest thing we're looking for at the minute. Of course, the feedback's constant, whether we win, lose or draw, whether we play well, play terrible. The feedback's constant. That's the biggest thing. It's actions.
We've also seen Dean Lewington come in and out of the team. Obviously, he's been a main part of this squad for forever, pretty much. how much of it is him being managed because of his age, and how much of it is just because of Zach Jules' form at the moment?
A combination of things. I think Jules has stepped in and done well, to be fair. And again, I think it's just different attributes for different games. Again, obviously Skip, where he's at, incredible career and still produces some really high level parts to the game. So I think in terms of what I know with Skip is in the team, not in the team, what he gives us. And I think I look at him in terms of the experience he brings for the group and the words he says. I think that's progressed massively in how he talks to the group now after games or in half times, etc. So I think he spoke really well in the changing room after the game Saturday. And I think going forward, his previous experience of being in situations like this, to lean on that for the group and have the composure to be able to get through it. I think that of course the tendency is to panic and to concentrate so much on outcomes that you actually forget the most important part, which is actually the actions to make it happen. And I think that's what Skip does a good job of keeping everybody focused on what we need to do in order to get the outcome that we want.
And just finally, I know we said, well, you mentioned there that there's always pressure on every game, but how important is it as well to give a performance that feels like an MK Dons performance, more so than probably the result, I'd imagine?
Yeah, I think it's the two hand in hand. To be honest, I think for the group, and that's probably the frustrating bit. Even watching the game back on Saturday, first half, eight corners, 7 shots. I think when you look at it, it's probably the manner of the goals that we're conceding and the manner and volume of chances we're conceding is what frustrates so other and blinds so many other elements of actually good aspects to the performance. I think that's the challenge for us all, is to bring it all together. So when we're in block, be comfortable in block, but deal with long balls, control second balls, make smart decisions on whether we can play or whether we have to make meters up the pitch. Build. We want to build. We want to keep the ball, but if we have to go forward, we have to go forward. I think it's the biggest part is making smart decisions. To and being aligned with that to get the outcome that we want.